I use scissors. I just want to make a little cut through the skin, and then I want to keep this very shallow. In other words, just skin. I want the patient to be awake and comfortable, so we try to keep everything down. I keep the lights down. I use a small needle to inject. In here, I want I want it very light. And I want very tight control of the bleeding. I don't want any bleeding. So I have my assistant pull down like this. And what I'm looking for is the upper part of the tarsal plate. So there it is. Let's go over the anatomy of the eyelid here. So we have this skin, and right under this skin is this muscle layer. That muscle layer is called the orbicularis. You can see it's red here. Right under that is this layer right here. If you pull on it, it doesn't pull much. It's called the septum. And that's a very tight layer. Underneath that is this connective tissue. And what we're doing is we're going to find the tarsal plate, the top of the tarsal plate. And that's what we see right there. Now you see all of these little blood vessels right here. That's called the peripheral arcade. That's right on top of Mueller's muscle. So you know you're in the right place when you see this white tarsal plate. It feels kind of like cartilage. Right above that are all these little tiny blood vessels. And if you put a needle in them, they're going to bleed a lot. That's when you know you're in the right place. So our next step is to take this and we hook it underneath here and pull. And now this is the septum, and we pull very gently. And I'm going to open the septum, and you see all of this yellow. That's what we call the pre-aponeurotic fat pad. So this is our muscle right here. This is the levator aponeurosis. It's a tendon. And then all of this yellow-orange here is the muscle. So we're exactly where we want to be. Now, I'll take the suture. I do this when I'm sitting on this side. When I'm on the right side, I load the needle backwards. And again, this is called a Castro Viejo needle driver. And sometimes you have this device which will lock it. And the way you lock it is to squeeze it, and now it stays together. And then the way you unlock it is to squeeze it, and it comes apart. So I'm going to load this needle backwards. So I'm going like this. Now, when I load it frontwards with the point down, that's when I want to go like this. But when I'm sitting on this side, I find it easier. Otherwise, I have to come around really awkward like that. So now we pass through the tarsus here. So there's my levator aponeurosis. That's the white part. So I do this in a horizontal mattress style. Now, I do this sort of a stitch so I can check it, okay? Now compare the right and the left, and you see that the right is actually a little bit higher than the left. So that looks really good. And we always know that because of the lidocaine, it numbs the levator, so it doesn't work as well. So we always want it to be a little bit higher than, because we know it's going to come down a little bit. If we do this with the patient completely asleep, we just take our best guess and we hope that we're close. And of course, in children, that's how we have to do it. So now we just close skin to skin. So why levator advancement? Because I checked her eye muscle movements and they were very strong. So that way I know I can do the levator advancement and do really well with that. And if it's only 1 or 2 millimeters, I use the internal approach. And for that, I put them to sleep.